Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of Showcase on Dark Souls 3. Now, time for a special staff. I've been waiting for this one. A staff that actually seems like, when you look at it, this could work. This should be able to kill every enemy I put in front of it, or at least greatly mar and damage them. And not to mention, it's a returning weapon. It is the Izalith Staff. I believe I pronounced it right, Izalith? Yes. But yes, this is a returning weapon from Dark Souls 1. But funny enough, doesn't cast pyromancies. Description reads, Ancient Callus, the Witch of Izalith, and her daughters, used long before the dawn of chaos and of pyromancy. With the birth of the Chaos Flame, the Flame Witches were once both sorceress and shamans. Faith adjusts the power of sorceries that cast using this catalyst. Interesting. His staff also seems to boost the power of dark sorceries. Very interesting. This staff, I'll be definitely trying that. The skill is the Steady Chant. Boosts strength of sorceries for a very short period, works equipped with the other hand, which is shared across all the staffs. Is it better or worse than the other ones? We'll find out. Anyhow, visually, well, I couldn't get the whole thing in the whole picture. Not without zooming out, so I figured why not just zoom in and just say it's really, really long. But yes, as you can see in the sub-picture for Dark Souls 1, it's an incredibly long staff. Very, very long. And yeah, I think I'll still do that. I can't call it a stick, because sticks don't grow this long. It's more like a micro tree at this point, a wooden dowel if you will. It's way too round and symmetrical, until the end gets all twisty. But yes, it is quite long, and with melee attacks, you surely get some good range out of it for whacking people over the head. Now, the funny thing about whacking people over the head, we've got damage on this sucker. So, the stats for the Izalith Staff. Physically, we're going to talk about the physical, because we actually have something here. 120 damage, and what's this? Good bonus damage? Sweet Lord Mary. So yes, this staff can actually hurt people. Let's go on to this spell buff. Now, as much as 155 right now with my intelligence at 135, it started out with 130. So of all the staffs, this one has incredibly weak buffing. It's more or less what you get right now, and see with it is what you get. Low stat buffing. But anyway, we got a lot of achievement bonus though. D for strength and dexterity, B for intelligence, and C for faith. And faith is important. Retrieval requirement, you got 12 strength, 0 dexterity, 14 intelligence, and 10 faith. And the stage chant is cost 7, which is pretty much all of its staffs, and the weight is 3.0. Pretty awesome so far. Moving on to animations, we'll be using some specific spells. We got a dark spell there. So yep, pretty much the basic attack. The L1, R1 is pretty much your basic cast, and then the R2 secondary attack is the whack, but you got great reach with that. Then we got the Steady Chant, which is pretty much identical to all the other staffs out there. Shame really, you could have done something unique with this, something fire-based. When upgrading this, you need Twinkling Titanite. Okay, that means very few upgrades. The buff goes up by 4 points, which is pretty good, and not to mention the damage and bonus even goes up by quite a bit. For the attribute bonus, nothing really changes off the first few upgrades. So yep, and then on a third upgrade, we can see our intelligence boost on the attribute bonus goes to an A, which is pretty good. So overall, you can see the Titanite slab there, and it's pretty damn good. We got a spell buff of 172, which is stronger than most staffs. It's just that in terms of where you're scaling with your intelligence, doesn't really take it too far, but the faith also comes into play with this, especially with the dark sorceries. Not to mention the bonus damage is pretty good. And for our testing the spells, we'll be in the Great Deep Soul, specifically that one. There aren't too many dark sorceries in the game, so I figured this one would do the most damage in the end. So yeah, doesn't take too much FP either. Alright, performing this, I'll first cast Dark Deep Soul with normal Sorceress Catalyst. Alright, we did 93 damage. Not very impressive, really. Let's try the Izalith Staff. Okay, look at that. Just about double damage. So yes, how this pretty much all works is the Izalith Staff takes faith into account. So the more faith you have, the stronger that dark sorcery will be. So that's very neat. Let's try it with the special, the Steady Chant. 190. Okay, so Steady Chant did add a whole bunch. And remember, the study chant's not based on faith, it's based on intelligence. So that's why we didn't see a dramatic improvement. Only a measly 25 some points. But we can see the physical attack is actually pretty damn decent. That's what I love about the staff. You don't have to waste your junk speed, you don't have to waste your spells on these trash guys, or have to carry a secondary weapon. So we see that didn't do so much at all. Let's try the conventional one, and yeah, the sorcerer staff didn't do much at all. Let's try the Fern Flash Sword. 50 damage, and now this shouldn't be no different for plain sorceries. Bingo. Pretty much nothing. But the physical attack. Oh baby. There we go. 2 whacks. Excellent. Now using sorceries against the gargoyle is a rather poor choice. So I did roughly 70 damage there, and double that. Pretty much almost. Let's try it with the pretty much that. But the study chant, remember, also buffs the physical attack, which we get 300 damage. It's pretty good. You know what? That's much better of an idea, just to whack him to death. Hey, it worked. So far so good. Let's try this again with the Black Knight. So launch that. Did 145. That's pretty good since the Dark Knights don't actually have any dark resistance. Ooh, nice. 180. Let's try it with the study chant now. I'm gonna get myself hurt doing this one, but you know, the basic whack did around 200 damage. Then, like I said, the whack is actually quite effective. Arguably, it's probably more worth your time to do the whack than it is to, say, Baldino use the spell itself. And you can see the spell did 309. Pretty significant, actually. This staff is easily one of the best. Okay, let's move on to the pros and cons of the Isla staff. There are plenty of pros. Alright, start off. First pro is awesome spell buff, and you don't really need a high intelligence to get that spell buff. This is important. That is very important. It means it has a low level of entry. It also has amazing bonus damage all around. It boosts dark sorceries, which is also nice. And it's powerful enough to use as a whacking stick to actually kill enemies with. It actually can do that. Alright. On the cons, I guess. Well, it doesn't have very good butt bolt scaling with the buff. So it's a bit wasted in that area, but I find it low priority. And it's upgraded with Twinkling Titanite, which is a bit of a pain in the ass since it's like the only staff that is style like that. But that is the only cons. Yeah. So yeah, pretty good pros and not so very almost non-existent cons. Let's go on to the score though of Isla staff. I have a very high opinion of this. So, the buff. We can't give the buff too high of points, even though it's there and it's high. We can't exactly, you know, jack it all up. I will give it a 7. Since you won't have to be a very prominent mage to actually use good spells with this. Bonus though, we already know it's a 10 out of 10. It smashes every other staff completely in terms of buff. I mean, the bonus. And for Misk, we'll give it 8 out of 10. Because it's a staff that's easily usable by many, although it's hard to find. But you don't have to be a prominent mage, you can easily use faith abilities and intelligence both in one with this. And it's you can even use it, you don't need a backup weapon, it is a weapon itself. And again, it boosts those dark sorceries, which is quite powerful against right enemies. So in total, the Isla staff gets 25 out of 30. Now, normally it's a bit far to say it's perfect, but I'm going to give it the nearly perfect rating. Because again, the buff is not perfect. But it's damn pretty close enough in my book, I guess. So yes, I was waiting for this staff specifically for that reason. And I'm pretty sure in terms of covering all the staffs, this one trumps them all in my opinion. But the Core Sorcerer staff will eventually overtake it in terms of damage, because if you got 60 intelligence, that one went out by a little bit. But no matter. It's an awesome staff, and just about everyone can use it. And that's been Showcase for today. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and see you guys next time. Take care out there.